الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. Brothers and sisters, pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah give us sincerity to speak the truth in the light of Quran and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to understand them, to accept them in the life, in the heart, and apply them in our life. Ameen thumma ameen. Today's topic is about stress. We are going to discuss about stress, and generally the medical information is already available on NHS and the Google. You search on that. So any medical website, you will get it. But I will go through them quickly, few of them, like what is stress, what are the symptoms, and what they actually refer you for your, cure for the stress. But our main subject will be how can we cure stress with the light of prophetic medicine, in the light of prophetic medicine, inshallah. So Quran has already spoken about it. Today, if you see that people, when they are in the hospital and they are given some treatment for the heart, when they find that the heart is not functioning as it should be functioned, they apply so many devices to let the person survive. And though the science is saying that heart is only a device, but heart is important. If the heart is not functioning, they declare him or her dead. But still they say that, no, heart is only an instrument for pumping blood in and out. So they say that when the heart is not functioning properly, there are chances for the person to die. Ismail. So all we have to understand is that the heart in Quran is used as qulub, hearts, and fu'ad. So this is the word which Allah has spoken, and Allah has said that the mental health is dependent on our heart. The mental health is dependent on our heart. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not spoken anything about the mind or brain. All Allah has told us to use the brain for thinking. أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. There where we use our mind. But everything that has to do with the mind has to do with the heart. And this is a very authentic and famous hadith of Rasulullah, which he said in Bukhari and Muslim and different books of ahadith, that Rasulullah has said there is a small piece of flesh in the human body. Small piece of flesh in the human body, and if that flesh or that piece of meat is sound, the whole body is sound. And if that piece of meat or flesh is ill, the whole body is ill. And he said, Allah wa huwal yanqal. Mudgha and qalb. This is what he said. That piece of cloth or cloth of, the blood, collection of blood, or piece of flesh or piece of meat in the body is heart. And he said that if that heart is sound, the whole body is sound. And if heart is not sound, then the body is not sound. So in one ayah, Allah has given us the cure. In one ayah, Allah has given us the cure for the heart. And that is in Surah Al-Ra'd, verses 13, chapter is 13, and verse is 28. Allah, inna alladhina amanu wa tatma'innu qulubuhum bi dhikrillah, ala bi dhikrillahi tatma'innu qulub. Assalamu alaikum. Those who believe in the oneness of Allah and whose hearts find rest in the remembrance of Allah, verily in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. So if you see that when people have got stress, which I will discuss in detail about it, not in a medical form, just a quick list, because you can check the details of it with your physician, with your doctor. But quickly I'll be telling you what it is. And Rasulullah has also told us how the heart can be strong. And if the heart is strong and sound and healthy, the whole body is healthy. And the stress that we are talking today is related to the heart and mind both. Because everything that we have to, the science has, or medicine has categorized stress as a mental illness. They say part of it is not fully illness, but it is related to the mental issue, stress. And what are the problems that we face when we have stress? Normally, anxiety and disorderness in that. Depression, psychocosmetic disorderness. And they define that stress is something that, body is fighting. Body is demanding something, body is responding to something, and the body is fighting. And when the body is not able to fight that sort of thing, the demand or the challenge, then a person falls into stress. So it's a fight, battle fight, mental fight with your demands. The body wants something, your brain wants something, your mind wants something, and it's like a challenge to you. And when you make it, you are able to do it, you are healthy, sound, everything is there well. You can progress in your daily routine. But if that, what is your body is demanding something, and you are not able to fulfill that challenge, then your mind tells you that you have failed or you are in a, stress. That stress will cause so many things, which I'm going to speak about it. There are so many things, but scientifically they have said there are few things that has got reason how the stress can come to you. There are reasons. Number one, this is from the psychological point of view. It has to do with the environmental stresses. That means your surrounding that you live in, if it is not according to the way you want to live, or you cannot maintain your normal life accordingly, then it could be financial problems, could be work problem, could be life-changing problem, and could be maybe losing your loved one, maybe losing something which you are very attached to it. So this is environmental changes that can be one of the cause for stress. Psychological stress, it is related to your thoughts and feelings, which can cause significant stress over time. Social stress. Social stress is also related to your relationship with your wife, with your husband, with your children, with your parents, with your friends, with your neighbors, etc., etc. When you have problem with that, then that will create and make the cause for stress. Physical. Physical is also related. The physical stress can be caused through the chronic illness, injury of the body, and lack of rest and peaceful sleep, which we know that. I still remember that a brother came out of the prison. Two brothers came out of the prison after 14 years. And immediately the third brother, who was their close friend, he brought them to me, and he told me to do the ruqya on that person. These two people. And subhanallah, after the ruqya, they were knocked out fully. Not knocked out in the sense unconscious. They were so relaxed with the ruqya that they were snoring. These two prisoners who came from the prison, and they wanted me to perform the ruqya for them. My ruqya was only 36 minutes, and they went to deep sleep. So the third person made them wake up, and they went home. Alhamdulillah, I guided them what to do next. And normally, because they came from the prison, they had to just stay at home. So they woke up at 12 o'clock afternoon the next day. They even from me, when they went there, they went to sleep. And then one of the brothers contacted me and said, Sheikh, subhanallah, in 14 years, I never slept the way I slept after this listening of the Quran. And these are the prisoners. They won't just say something to flatter me or make me happy. They are not of that kind. But really, they felt a difference in their life, and based on that, they told me what they felt. Alhamdulillah. So this is physical stress, mental stress, social stress, environmental stress. All these things have to do with your brain, your mind. And this is where you have to understand how we can tackle this. If you can't address these things, and you don't, even when you go to your medical doctor or your therapist or your counselor, if you don't mention what is actually bothering you in this kind of, these different types of stresses, as I said, it could be social, could be physical, could be environmental, and could be, subhanallah, trauma in your brain, in your head. This has to do with your very, very sad incident or experience in your life, physical or mental. It could be accidents, it could be physical abuse, it could be natural disasters that you have experienced in your life. So that trauma also one of the causes for stress. What are the symptoms normally? The medical websites, if you see them, they have mentioned that it could be headaches, constant headaches, and it will be severe, which goes into the migraine, and sometimes medical doctors advise you when you have a severe type of migraine, remember, don't take it light, you might fall into a stroke, and that can give you a very serious, loss of one of the bodies or the parts of the bodies in the form of paralyzing yourself, or people, they lost their one side completely, left or right, they lost their eyesight, hearing, power of speech, movement, all that. So headache is one of the symptoms. Muscles tension, which we have, yes. We have stiffness in the body, our arms are not moving properly, our legs are not moving properly, we have back problems, we have got so many other things, so even the prayers would become difficult for us. Fatigue, sleep disturbance, chest pain, rapid heart beating, and digestive issues. These are the symptoms. And emotional symptoms is also mentioned on the websites, medical websites. They say anxiety, irritability, mood swings, depression, feelings of being overwhelmed, and loneliness. And then another one is that when you have a cognitive behavior, which means totally has to do with the mind, brain, that you will always have, all the time you will be suffering with the negative thoughts. You will never ever think positive of any issue, and that can become the main cause for your stress. Now with this, I would like to ask you, now pay attention to this. Whatever I have said that, from the medical perspective, from the medical websites and the NHS details, did I quote anything wrong, Mubin? No. Many of you have gone into stress. So all these things are there. Physical problems will have stress. Environmental problem will have stress. Bad experience in your life somewhere in the past, that is trauma, stress. You will have stress in your financial problems. You will have stress in your social life. All these things are mentioned and confirmed in the medical field. And they all have to do with mind and brain. And the symptoms are very common. Now, please be honest. I'm like a father figure to you, and I'm a qualified person in this field as well. How many of you are suffering from the stress? Honestly speaking, you people are not speaking the truth. Yes, I like to say the straightforward thing. All of us, including myself, we all have stress in our life. So we are not speaking the truth. Or maybe you don't trust me. You'll think he's a Maulvi, typical Maulvi, so why should we tell him? That's good. Good luck for all of you, my brothers. Alhamdulillah. So let's understand this. Now this is what I said, and this is what all of us have. And the truth is that we have to accept what is truth in our life. Alhamdulillah. We are only ordinary people. Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he was in stress, let alone we people. He was in stress, and he has attempted to destroy or harm himself because of the ummah. This ummah who has thrown the Quran behind their back. This ummah, so-called Muslims, and they insult Allah indirectly. So-called Muslims, they insult Quran indirectly. So-called Muslims, they change Allah's Sharia and they want, Sharia to come. They themselves don't know what Islam is, and they want to preach Islam to the non-Muslims. So this is how we have done today. And our Prophet ﷺ was having stress because of us. He had no stress about his wives. He had no stress about his wealth. He has no stress about his name and fame. Physically, mashallah, I told you last Jumah, 63 years old man fighting with the sword with the people who are non-Muslims attacking him from all around, and he's on his horse saying, I'm the son of Abdullah bin Abdul Muttalib, and alhamdulillah, I'm a prophet of Allah, I'm not scared of anything. So you can imagine, he had the strength of 30 men. So this is our prophet. Physically, he has no problem. Mentally, he has the stress because of us. He used to spend his whole night in sajda, not asking for the dunya, not asking for the protection from the kuffar. He was asking, Allah protect my ummah. Allah save my ummah. So, we all, my brothers and sisters, we all need to tackle the problem of stress. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. إن الحمد لله نحمد ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. My medical study, alhamdulillah, and going through so many physical and mental health study, I found that as Prophet has said, the alcohol is mother of all evil. And I say, stress is the mother of all diseases and illness. When you have illness, stress, as we have learned, environmental problem, you will have problem with the environment and you'll get stress. So the stress is the mother in your surrounding, environment, social, financial, physical, emotional, everything is coming from the, all of them are affected. All are affected because of the stress. And let's see what Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said. Do you remember the ayah which I read at the beginning of the khutbah? Surah Al-Ra'd. Okay, alhamdulillah. Let's read it. الذين آمنوا, those who believe. وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله. The believers, their hearts are in peace and tranquility by the remembrance of Allah, or with the remembrance of Allah. ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. So Allah is telling us that with the remembrance of Allah, your heart will have peace. Your heart will be sound and healthy. And the first hadith which I quoted from Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, where Rasulullah has said there is a piece of flesh in your body, and that piece is sound, your whole body is sound, which means your brain is sound. And if that is ill, your brain is ill. And he said, that's heart. That's the center here that which we have. And yesterday, day before yesterday, I had a client. This lady, 31 years old, she was in the hospital for 5 months, fighting for her life. And 2 days ago, she died. And the problem was, again, the doctors, they said, the heart is not responding. The heart is not responding. 31-year-old woman, 2 young kids. One is 3 years, and one was only 2 weeks, 3 weeks child. So my brothers and sisters, please, now I'm going to tell you now the prophetic medicine for all your problems. All the problems. What are the problems? As I said, physical, social, environmental, and trauma, and all those kind of things. It has to do with the stress, and the cure is only the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I have checked this. I have checked people who could not even walk properly because of the sciatica. And a person is carried in the arms and brought to my house. I didn't do the ruqyah. I made the person repeat with me the ruqyah. And that person went walking. So my practical experience, this is my faith in Allah's kalam, that Allah bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub, that this person who read the whole ruqyah with me, subhanallah, this person, automatically the brain has accepted what Allah is saying, and the heart has responded, and the sciatica was cured. No massage needed. No breaking of the bones or losing of the bones needed. No. Subhanallah. And I can say that, alhamdulillah, there are some scholars and outspoken people, today the modern scholars who have studied the modern things, they don't give importance to the ruqyah. They say it's only to the brain. Yeah, this is my argument. We are talking about the problem that is caused by the brain. So we are giving the energy to the brain, we are giving the food to the brain, and this is what, if you are a Muslim, then take this ayah and you put that. I'm not saying this ayah is like, paracetamol. I'm not saying this ayah is your vaccine. I'm saying that this ayah is giving you a message which has to be accepted with your brain, and it will go into your heart, and all your physical problems and psychological problems and social problems, everything will be cured. And what is needed? Ruqyah, you mean to say that ruqyah has to be done, you have to go to sheikh and do the ruqyah? No. It's your body, it's your brain, it's your heart, it's your stress. Then if you follow the ruqyah, you do the ruqyah on yourself, you're cured. And what is ruqyah? What is ruqyah? Reading of Surah Al-Fatiha. How many of us know Surah Al-Fatiha? Okay. Ayat Al-Kursi. Surah Al-Ikhlas, Qul Wallahu Ahad. Surah Al-Falaq, Qul A'udhu Bi Rabbil Falaq. Surah Al-Nas, Qul A'udhu Bi Rabbin Nas. Finish. All your social problems, your physical problems, your environmental problems, if you do it in a proper way, yes, you have to take the advice of the expertise, alhamdulillah, and I'm not boasting. You won't find any better than myself, inshallah, in that. But you have to just pay for it, so you can get the proper advice. No, alhamdulillah, I'm a father figure to you all, brothers and sisters. Please believe me, your health is important to me. That's why I have especially done this study, that what is stress, what are the causes for the stress, what are the symptoms for the stress, and what could be the remedy for that. The remedy, yes, you can go to the medical doctors. I will never say no. Go and speak to them. They will know specifically what is the main cause for your stress among all those lists. But ruqyah will cover all of them. Ruqyah will cover all of them. As I said, Surah Al-Fatiha, Ayat Al-Kursi, Surah Al-Ikhlas, Surah Al-Falaq, and Surah Al-Nas. You read on yourself. You focus on that. These are all remembrance of Allah. Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafidhun. Allah is saying the whole Quran is dhikr of Allah. The whole Quran is dhikr of Allah. But when you take this as a medicine, Surah Al-Fatiha, Ayat Al-Kursi, last three quls, and when you read that, this will work as paracetamol. This will work as, sleeping pills. This will work for your sciatica problem. This will work for your mental, your heart problem, everything. And at the same time, we have to be punctual in certain things. This will be my final conclusion. Punctuality is very important. We say we will do it. We promise this, we promise that. But subhanallah, last time I said that, please, if you are giving a promise to your wife or you're giving promise to your husband, that's fine, you can break that. You can easily, because you will be in contact, so you can make so many excuses. But don't ever promise to the elderly people who are seriously in need of you. They will wait. They will wait, and their sabr will be very less. The elderly people, their sabr will be very less. And that will add more problems to their problems if we break our promise to them. There was a person, he called me, and he is maybe 80 plus. He said that, Sheikh Sahab, I want your help, but I know that this help which I need, you can't help me in that. I said, what is it? He said so many things. And he said, okay, so I asked him, what is the problem? He said, there's a brother, he promised me that he will come. And it is now more than a month, he has changing the promises and he was giving excuses. And now he is not even responding to my phone. And I can see from this tone of this man that he was expecting this person like as if somebody is, scared of the death. So my brothers and sisters, punctuality is very important in our whole system of life. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has fixed us with the 5 daily prayers, Fajr, Zohar, Asr, Maghrib. Otherwise he could have just said, pray all 5 times, 5 prayers at one time. But this is to make us punctual with these 5 different times. So, your body should be clean. If your body is not clean, don't expect the stress to go out of your body, your brain. Your clothes should be neat and clean all the time. If your clothes are not clean, your stress will not be cured. And the surrounding that you are, your body, your clothes, and your surrounding where you are, if that is messed, the stress will come out from there easily and will go into your head. So these are the things you have to first work out with it. Plus your physical exercise, plus your dietary system, which I've already explained last time. And more will come. We will discuss, inshallah, next time about the depressions and mental disorderness. We'll discuss all this from the medical perspective and from the teaching of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So my brothers and sisters, now the cure for the stress. Cure for the stress is remembrance of Allah. Remembrance of Allah. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has told us that this is the remembrance of Allah. And Quran said every Jumah Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would read that die not but as Muslim, but with what? Remembrance of Allah. A person dies, maybe he is dying with, listening to the music, listening to the songs, listening or maybe doing something haram. A person may die in that status. But here the believer is, وَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. Do not die but as Muslim. Here this is very clear that die with the remembrance of Allah. And I told you, if you want your wealth to increase, pray 2 rakat tahajjud. If you want your wealth to increase, get up before Fajr and ask Allah to forgive you. If you want your wealth to increase, then give sadaqah even if it is 1 penny. If you want your wealth to increase, then start your day with praising Allah and end your day with praising Allah. 4 things, and your wealth is guaranteed that your wealth will increase. Same thing with your health. Surah Al-Fatiha. Go to Shaykh and learn Surah Al-Fatiha correctly and see what is the impact of the Surah Al-Fatiha on your stress. Learn Ayatul Kursi and see what is the best benefit of you when you learn the Ayatul Kursi from the Shaykh, and when you read on yourself, see how the stress will go out from your body. And all this, and after following this thing for at least seven times in your life, then go and check yourself. All your diseases will be in the negative, inshallah. So my brothers and sisters, if you still want this help, and if you have problems with your stress of these different types of stress, then I have decided with Brother Harun, once in a month, we will have a center here in the center. 1 hour, I will sit with the people, taking your details about your stress. And then in this 1 hour, I'll be taking all your details about your stress, and then I will address that from the medical perspective. But generally, for all those who will be attending, the half hour will be treatment from prophetic medicine, inshallah. And that will be once in a month. So you have to enroll with me, and you have to, discuss if you are interested. And believe me, your life will change as if you have come back to 10 years back of your normal life, inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وأقم الصلاة